Assalamu alaikum. Okay, now I'm going to explain in these clips about putting the i'rabs or putting the harakat on these on the ibarats. The book I've chosen is a book by Shaykh Abu al-Hasan rahimahullah. It's called Rijaal al-Dawah or Rijaal al-Fikr al-Dawah. Originally the book was written in Urdu. It's an Urdu book called Tarikh al-Da'wah Azimat, and then someone translated into Arabic, and I think it's a very good book for students to read. However, the words and the sentences can be a bit difficult for beginners. So we're going to go through this book or as much as we can in these days. So first of all, this is where the khutbah starts. Now you can download this book. I'll put a link with it as well. And this is where the khutbah starts. I think, let me just check what page it is. Yep, it's page 13. So you go to the book, page 13, and you can follow. So what you can do is you can do all of this ibarat yourself, and then after that you can watch this clip and see where you went wrong. Okay, now first of all, I'll start off with the khutbah. So alhamdu. Okay, remember the default state is always give it a dhamma. That's the default state. If you stick to that, then it makes it easier. So let's stick to dhamma. So this has got one dhamma because alif lam is there. Because alif lam is there, we stick to one dhamma. You know that already. Then we have lillahi. Lillahi because of this. Okay, because of the ha. Yeah, so let me just show you this lam over here. Lillahi is lam jar. Now you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. And this affects that, so it takes it out of the dhamma state and brings it into kasra state. Anyway, let's carry on. Wa salamun. We're just going to be dealing with the last letters. Salamun. Okay, this is salamun because there's no alif lam in the beginning. There's no idafa, and there's nothing to change it, take it out of the default state. Ala is harf jar. Ibadi. Now because this is a harf jar, you know what harf jar is going to do? It's going to affect the last letter of the next word. Now remember, the last letter of the next word is this one. Alright, it's this one over here. It's the dal. It's not the hu, because this is dhamir. Okay, this is something which is not the word, the letter that we're looking for. The letter that we're looking for is the last letter of ibad, which is dal. Anyway, the dal, because of the ala, it has a kasra. Remember that. It would have been ibadu, default state, but the ala has taken it out of default state, ibadi. Now this word here, hu, because it's a dhamir, you can pronounce it any way you want. You can say ibadihu or ibada, ibadihi. It's up to you. You can say that. However, it's more easier to say ibadihi. Alright, next word is alladhina. Alladhina. Okay, this word doesn't change. Mabni, what they call mabni, just always alladhina. It's not going to change. Istafa. Istafa is a fi'l. Okay, fi'l madhi. Istafa yastafi istifa'an. Okay, istafa is tafa. Okay, the root letters are sad, fat, ya, and it's the bab ifti'al. So from the bab ifti'al, the ta's change into a ta because of the sad. Anyway, because this is a fi'l, it needs a file. So who's the file over here? The file istafa is Allah. So it goes back to Allah. So it's huwa inside of it. We say huwa, and it goes back to Allah. Now remember, this is a rule that the file comes after the word. Okay, so this is the fi'l. The file comes after. And if you have a file before, it's not called a file. Like over here, the word Allah is not the file. It's huwa inside of that, which goes back to the word Allah. So if you were to get this the other way around, so if you were to have, for example, daraba Zaid, or Zaid daraba, okay, then this is not the file, it's huwa inside of this, which goes back to that. So anyway, let's carry on. Now this fi'l over here, this next word, sorry, alif lam's over here, so this is going to be a single. Now the default is 2, isn't it? So al-haja 2. However, because they because there's a so because this is the default state. Now this is a separate sentence. Okay, this is a separate sentence and it stops there. That's it. End of sentence. Full stop. Now this is a new sentence. If it's a new sentence, then this is going to be al-hajatu. Remember that. Al-hajatu. Al-hajatu ila. Ila is harf jar. So it's going to make the letter on the next word, or the last letter, into a kasra. So ila al-islahi. And this is waw ataf. Waw ataf, basically what that means is this gives the word after it the same ruling as something before it. Now it might not be immediately before it. Over here it is, but sometimes it's not immediate. So ila al-islahi wa tajdid. Therefore it gives the same ruling as islah over here. So the islah has a kasra at the end. Tajdid is also going to have a kasra at the end. So it's like, imagine like this. This ila, it's working on this one and it's working on this one. Do you understand? Anyway, now you have another waw here. Alright, and that also gives that. And like I said to you, this waw, it goes back to all the way over here, to islah. So what we say is ila al-islahi wal tajdidi wal ba'thi. Wal ba'thi. So it's not going to be ba'thi because of this waw. Takes it back over there. And then we have what is known as the sifa. Al-jadid is sifa of al-ba'th. And remember the rule is the sifa follows the mawsuf. Okay, in everything. Alright, so even the harakat. So the harakat is kasra here. This follows a kasra here. And the next sentence, وَاتِّصَالُهُمَا فِي تَارِيخِ الْإِسْلَامِ. Now this waw over here, okay, this is another waw, but this doesn't necessarily mean that this waw is connected to the previous series of waws. Okay, so this waw can possibly isti'naf as well, or it could possibly be connected, but anyway we'll use it as isti'naf. Ittisaluhuma. So because if it's a new sentence, alright, we're going to give it a dhamma. Ittisalu. Ittisal is masdar from bab ifti'al. Ifti'al. Ittisal. Ittasala yattasilu. So ittisal. Huma. And this is zamir, two zamirs, huma. Okay, this I think is possibly goes back to islah wa tajdid. Okay, these two things, islah, tajdid. Anyway, you can possibly go back to that, or you can possibly go back to all of this, meaning islah is one, and tajdid wal ba'th al-jadid is another one. So they're both of their connection. Anyway, ittisaluhuma fi. Fi is harf jar, and because harf jar, what does harf jar do? Harf jar, it causes the letter on the end of the next word to become exactly jar, kasra, gives it a kasra. Now over here we have what is known as the mudaf ilay. Alright, this is the mudaf, Tarikh al-Islam, history of Islam, Tarikh al-Islam. Because of that, the rule is that the mudaf ilay, alright, the mudaf ilay, this will always have a kasra, okay, or halat al-jar, it has a kasra. So let's look at all of this. Alhamdu lillahi wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Al-hajatu ila al-islahi wa al-tajdidi wal-ba'th al-jadidi wa ittisaluhuma fi tarikh al-Islam. Okay, all praise to Allah and peace upon His servants whom He has chosen. Al-hajatu, the need to or for rectification, and tajdid and renewal, wal-ba'th al-jadid, and the need for the new sending out, wattisaluhuma, and both of their connection in the history of Islam. Okay, the history of Islam. Now, just one more thing over here. We only have one vowel over here. Right, over here we only have one vowel, and the reason that we only have one vowel over here is because this is mudaf. Okay, because it's mudaf, the mudaf, remember what we said about, remember what the rule is about the mudaf, that the mudaf, it has to lose one of its vowels. So if it has a double vowel, it has to lose one of them because of the mudaf ilayhi. Because the mudaf ilayhi is connected onto the end of the mudaf, one of the vowels goes. So that's the i'rab of this, or the tashkeel, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let me just summarize what we've learnt so far. Rub this out. Okay, what we've learnt now is, number one, is we've learned that the default, okay, the default state is the dhamma, one dhamma or two dhammas, one or two dhammas. And the second is that if alif lam, it's alif lam, if that appears at the beginning of a word, then you only have a single vowel. And number three is that the harf jar, okay, gives kasra, and ataf equals following previous vowel. And number five, the idafa min mudaf ilayh. Alright, so the idafa, the rules of the idafa. This is what we learnt today. Inshallah, what I'm going to do when we continue, I'll be adding more rules.